Hey everyone, we're two Metalheads. I'm Mario, and I have a hat.
And I'm James, and I have bitch tits.
Oh yeah.
I have big bitch tits.
Double D.
Nice and squishy.
This is disturbing already.
Of course.
That's great. So we thought we would talk a little bit about some of our favorite CD, artwork for bands.
Favorite album covers.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Not necessarily like favorite, but something that might have inspired something or had some sort of effect on us.
Significance.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words here. Had some sort of significant effect. So, well, you want to go first? Or you have something?
Yeah, I'll go first. One of my favorite album covers. I mean, I've got a lot. I'm one of those dudes that puts a CD on and fucking sits there and stares at the album art while the fucking disc is playing. So one of my favorite ones to sit and stare at is the album cover for Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, my sister had her vinyl collection underneath my bed in my bedroom. And she moved out and never took her vinyls with her. So one day I was...
Sucker.
One day I was a kid and, stubbed my toe on the records underneath. I was like, what the fuck? And I pulled out this huge stack of vinyl and I sat there on my bedroom floor. And I think it was like 7 years old. And I'm sitting and looking through these vinyls and there was like Rolling Stones, Tattoo You. My sister was a big Stones fan. And I was like, this is stupid. Some Who records in there. I never liked the Who either. Some Zeppelin in there. And I always thought the cover for Zeppelin 4 was pretty cool and creepy.
The naked people on the beach.
No, the old man with the fucking bundle
in the
of
house
sticks on his back.
Yeah.
And then you open up the inside and it's got the wizard looking down with the lantern and the lyrics from Stairway to Heaven are there.
That's a pretty cool album cover, actually.
That's a great album cover. But then I remember Blizzard of Oz and looking at that picture of Ozzy sitting on the floor with the fucking big cape on and, the fucking eye makeup and it looked like he was dying and he's holding the cross up and then there's like the light shining in from the window behind him and you see the figure standing there in the window and then like the skull and the smoke and like the giant horn coming up out of the ground behind him.
We should move over. You're going out of frame a little bit.
That fucking album cover scared the shit out of me. And I remember just thinking, like, this has got to sound like a horror movie. And one day I finally had the balls to go in my living room and turn the record player on and put the record on and fucking play it. And I put it on side 2 first. So it started with Mr. Crowley.
Oh, boy.
With the fucking keyboards. And I literally sat there listening to it like, it does sound like a horror movie. Oh my God, this is amazing, but I'm scared shitless. And that, just sitting there listening to that and looking at that cover was like one of the fucking coolest experiences I ever had listening to music. And still to this day, whenever I hear those opening keys of Mr. Crowley, I feel that time when I was a kid just sitting there like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be doing this right now.
So was Mr. Crowley like the first Ozzy song that you heard?
That was the first Ozzy solo song I ever heard.
Cool. I think mine was probably Crazy Train, but that was probably, by the time I heard it, I was a little older, and that was like hit. Everybody heard that one,
right?
Yeah, because I mean that album came out when I was born, I think.
Yeah, 81.
81. Yeah,
81,
I was, so by the time I got around to it, it was old news. But well, I mean, one of my favorite. I mean, Iron Maiden always has awesome album covers.
Fuck yeah!
Like the one right here.
Fear of the Dark.
But I don't have any real stories about much of those. I mean, my cousin had a cool like vinyl, not vinyl, like it was like velour, I guess. It was in a frame. It was like a painting kind of, and it had the puppets, and it was the devil with the puppet. And it was, Iron Maiden.
Number of the Beast.
Yeah, it was a Number of the Beast painting,
and
I always thought it was cool. And then like by the time I got older, and he didn't really like metal anymore, I was like, "Do you still have that?" And he had no idea what I was talking about. But I'm like, I know I didn't make it up. You know, like,
He probably threw it away and forgot about it.
Yeah, but it would have been awesome to have. But anyway, one that really sticks in my mind a little bit is, well, my brother went to the music store one day, and God, he must have been in probably 6th or 7th grade. So obviously went with my mom, and he came home with a stack of CDs, and he had like a very varied
musical palette.
Yeah, at that time there was really no rap in it. Later on, he got into a little bit of rap.
Right.
But, like, he liked, like, his favorite bands were, like, AC/DC and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
Okay.
And, that kind of stuff. He liked some Pantera stuff. It was a mix of rock and metal and later on rap.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes home with just a stack of CDs. And, he's showing me all the CDs, and we're going to listen to one. And he has Cannibal Corpse Eaten Back to Life in there. And I'm
nice.
like, and I've never heard it before. I was in 8th grade, maybe 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's put this one on. This looks awesome, And he puts it on. He listens to the first song, and he turns it off.
And he hated it. Oh man!
And I was like, that's fucking awesome. What are you doing?
So did you get a free CD
yeah,
out of it?
He's like, here, you have it.
Nice.
I went right to my room. I put it in the CD player. I opened up the booklet. I'm reading along, and that first album, you can pretty. I mean, that was my first time listening to it. It was a little hard to understand at first, but you can follow along in lyrics.
Yeah.
Later on with the Tomb of the Mutilated and Butchered at Birth, they lost me on those because I couldn't even reading the lyrics. I'm like, if I can't follow along reading them,
right?
There's a problem here. But then the Bleeding came out and it was all okay again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that album cover kind of sticks like a skeletal zombie, but its guts falling
ripping
out.
His own guts out and shit.
It's always been stuck up because that's how I got into death metal, and that led to like years long of me only listening to for years it was Metallica, Megadeth, Guns N' Roses, and that was it. I didn't care about anything else. I was playing my guitar, and I was able to fake my way through 95% of the Metallica songs because I've heard them so much that I could play along to them, faking it, not really even bothering to learn it. I knew exactly what to do, and then I got into that, and it's slowly then Slayer. I got into Slayer, and then slowly it went from Metallica to listening to death metal, from I want to say the middle of maybe 10th or 11th grade. I was listening to almost probably 75% death metal.
Wow.
Cannibal Corpse,
Deicide.
Deicide is a big one, yeah.
Morbid Angel,
Hate Eternal, Sinister,
Death.
That was one of my favorite, but they weren't exactly like death metal to me. They were more like technical metal. They were really wow, you could. It was when I first heard Cannibal Corpse, I was playing guitar for maybe a year or two, and I was like, holy shit, you could do that with a guitar? That's how the hell do they play so fast?
Yeah.
I've been playing for a year at that point, maybe 2.
Right.
And I was like, how the fuck did they do that? And then Vile came, and then by the time I got that album, I think they were close to having George Fisher in the band by then, because it was.
Well, Vile is the first record with Fisher.
But I got Eaten Back to Life. By the time I got that, it was early 90s.
Okay.
Already. So, I think the Bleeding came out 94.
I think so. 94
I
was
think
the
Bleeding was probably
the newest
on
one
its
out.
way out,
right?
About to be out by the time I even heard of them, and then that album Vile was.
That was great, yeah.
I heard that.
That
I was
great.
Holy shit! I'm in my room with my guitar trying to follow along, and
it's impossible.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on now. It was a whole new learn to do this. I know a lot of people hear noise when they hear death metal, but there's some amazing stuff going on in there. If you hear the right bands
all around, too.
Yeah.
Not just the guitar or just the vocals.
Oh, yeah. The thing that got me a lot of times was some of the bands were there's blast beats in every part of every song.
Yeah, that gets
I was
boring.
all right, come, I need a little bit of a rhythm sometimes.
It gets tedious.
Yeah, but for the most part, Cannibal Corpse wasn't like that.
That's why I always loved the Bleeding.
Yeah,
because that album's got so much groove in it.
I learned how to play Pickaxe Murders from that.
That's a great album.
That was one of the first ones I learned on that album.
That's the first Corpse I ever heard.
Yeah.
Was that record?
Yeah, it's a weird thing for me because now I don't really listen to a whole lot of death metal anymore. There's a few bands that I look forward to. Like, I like Vader still.
Yeah, Vader
They're
rocks.
like one of the... and even though the singer from Behemoth has said some dickish things, and he seems kind of like a shitty person.
Yeah. Behemoth
I
is
do
still
like
good,
their
though.
music.
Yeah, they're still good.
So, I mean, you know, there are some death metal bands that I like nowadays.
He's been kind of looking like a hipster lately.
Well, I mean, he did go through the whole cancer thing.
Yeah.
He probably fucked up his body a lot.
I'm sure.
You know? So maybe he can't grow his hair back. I don't know.
They're a great band, though. They're a great band live.
Yeah, I've seen them open for King Diamond.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were both at that. I missed Behemoth. I got there when Nile was on, and Nile sucked.
I think Behemoth went on first, and then Black Dahlia Murders and Nile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I kind of like Nile, though. I think they're...
Not a fan.
I don't like listen... I can't listen to a lot of their stuff on CD, but when they're tight and on live, it's impressive.
See, both times I saw them live, they weren't tight at all. They were sloppy.
I've seen them probably like 6 times. And
that's a band with great album covers.
Yeah, they are. They do have like...
You know, they got that cool Egyptian thing going on.
There was one show I hung out with Carl for like 90% of the show.
Oh, you mean Wayne?
Yeah. He was just... I was hanging out with some of the people from Vader and Goathor and Amon Amarth.
Goathor, fucking great band.
Yeah,
good dudes.
He just started hanging out, and he was hanging out with us, and then Vader was going on. I was like, I'm gonna go watch Vader. And he's like, all right, and he just came with me, stood in the audience, and watched Vader. It was really cool, you know. And then when they were playing, he kept, you know, he's pointing to me like, hey. He was a cool guy. I thought he was really nice, you know. And
Goathor is another band with great album covers, man. They've always had really cool satanic shit.
I've never really been into Goathor for some reason.
They're so good. Sammy is such a great rhythm player.
Didn't Goathor play at Popeyes?
Couple
that
times.
would mean anything to most people as well.
Yeah, a couple times.
But yeah, we had a good show.
Yeah, we both played with them together once at Popeyes, and then Left in Ruins played with them again.
Oh yeah, Vital Remains too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so comment below. What are your favorite album covers? You know, do they have any meaning to you, or do you just think they look cool? Let us know. If you have any questions, maybe I should start putting the email on the
Feel free to comment.
Yeah, comment and ask us some questions so we have stuff to talk about. All right, 2 Metalheads.
2 Metalheads.